Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Football Shirt Social. I am, of course, your host, Tony Jameson, joined, as always, by SiMaggio. But tonight, we are also joined by a fantastic guest, Si. Everybody, say hello to the mad scientist. Mad, how are you, pal? Are you well?
Hello, guys. I'm very well. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Oh, mate, it's a pleasure to have you inside. Before we get into doing the how are you, let's let everyone know who the mad scientist is, first of all. If you're not entirely sure, the mad scientist creates custom databases for the game Football Manager, and he takes on projects that are far larger than any of us can conceive. And basically, there's like retro databases, 0102, 93, 94, 08, or 708. If you can imagine it, the mad scientist builds it. He's basically Field of Dreams, right?
Trying to.
There's an undersell right there, and it's just yeah, I do all right.
It's amazing what you do every year. I don't know how you have the time to do they'd have whole teams of researchers to do Football Manager, and you're just like, I'll just do football in 1995. This year, just chuck everyone's attributes in there.
It has become an obsession. That's my only way to say it.
But you know what though, the output, and I know the work that you put in is ridiculous because it did make you ill. So that's that's how serious you're taking it. But my word, man, the output, the enjoyment that everyone has. I said to you, was it last year before when you did the 93, 94 database? That's right up my street. That is right up my street. I'm reliving all these players from the 90s and I'm playing it in modern Football Manager. Oh, man, I was so happy.
My golden era as well. And we did enjoy that database amazingly.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this year's one. This year's one is the Portsmouth FA Cup winning the team. So yeah, that's the year of Portsmouth. 07, 08.
And this is the thing, right? So obviously we've had sort of people coming on the show. Some people from the world of Football Manager, of course. Some people from the world of journalism. We've got, as we said just before we started recording, we've got other journalists, we've got comedians, musicians, all that sort of thing that lined up to come on the show. And it's brilliant that we get to chat football shirts. But what's also brilliant is when we get people on that we've actually managed to meet in real life, because it's an interesting story, Mad. Right, and I'm gonna call you Mad throughout the whole
please,
episode, right? It's an interesting story how you're based in Denmark, we're based in the UK, yet 12 months ago you came to visit us.
Well,
tell the story.
Well, of course. It was the first FMT meetup or live recording, if I'm not mistaken, and it did become a sort of FM meetup. So. When you announced it like 5-6 months earlier, I looked in the calendar and I thought, why not go for it? So I brought my friend, which everyone who were there that night firmly remember, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we traveled from Denmark to England and hit straight into a train strike. So it took us we made it to Nottingham from London in the very last minute. I can't believe we made it. But we had a blast. Absolutely amazing to meet some of you guys, to meet you, Tonys. Unfortunately, Sai wasn't there last year, but meet a lot of those guys, which I have talking to on Twitter or on Twitch everywhere. It was a surrealistic evening, to say it.
I was going to say, I think the evening itself isn't the surreal bit. The surreal bit is when we worked out that there was a possibility that you were going to fly in for a 1-hour podcast record in Nottingham from Denmark. And like my wife, Mrs. J, can take part of the blame for that because she was like, I'm sure the flights are cheap. And she's like Googling going, he can fly for 20 quid. And
yeah.
Like, right, okay, fine. So once that became a thing, then of course the Mad was on a plane, turned up, got to Nottingham, brought your friend who, I mean, well, by word, there's a podcast episode on him alone, right? But we'll leave all that to one side. We'll maybe come back to that in a second. Because, of course, Si, we're here to chat football shirts. Mad, I'm going to go with you first of all. What are you wearing, pal?
Yeah, I should maybe have been wearing the club that I support, Parma. That makes more sense, but that is represented very well behind me. I got 3 Parma shirts behind me right now. What I'm wearing tonight, I'm wearing for 2 different reasons. It is a Palermo shirt, and I'm wearing it to try to impress SiMaggio. And I'm also wearing it to promote my coming database, which is the 2007-08 database season. And this is the Palermo shirt from that exact season.
Very nice. Si, are you
It's good.
impressed?
I try to think who would have been playing 2007, 2008 Palermo. I went to see them first. I first went there in 2009 and I lived there in 2011. So I didn't see them during this time period. I was still supporting Pompey in the FA Cup at that point. So I'm trying to think who would have been playing for him. It's too early for like Cavani, maybe. But they would have had some good players. They would have been in Serie A just about, I think, because they came up. They were there for a few years, and then they obviously suffered financial hardship, went down again. In fact, in 2011, when I went to see them, they'd got into Europe, and they were in the Italian Cup final. But yeah, and obviously they've changed the badge now. They're now part of the City Group, but they changed their badge before they were part of the City Group. So when they were rejuvenated or whatever. What do you call it when a team comes back? Phoenix Club, right? When they became
Phoenix, yeah.
No, it's not quite Phoenix Clubs in Italy, is it? They don't go all the way down to the bottom. They only go down 3 divisions. So they changed the badge to the badge which I had on. How handy is this? I've still got it up there from last week. So that's the new badge, which is like a modernized design, which a lot of Italian teams are doing, right? Rather than the older Aquia Eagle.
Yeah, Juventus as well.
I mean, it's still an eagle.
Yeah, Juventus is just the J, isn't it now? And
yeah,
Inter's new badges
changed. Roma have gone back. Well, Roma have gone back, and that's something we'll come back to later. But the Roma have obviously gone back to an old one, which is also sort of similar in its simplicity, rather than these sort of badges that were big in the 90s and early 2000s. And but the interesting thing is, since they've been bought out by the City Group have reacquired the rights to that badge, because that's one of the reasons they had to change it, because it has to be a new company and they lose the rights to the badge. Or whatever. Somehow the City Group have reacquired the rights to that badge. So now there's a discussion, because this is not an unpopular redesign. Some of the redesigns are unpopular. I don't know. The Juventus one seems to have stuck now. When it first came up, people didn't seem to like it. I don't mind this one. This one's all right. Okay, at first it didn't feel like a football badge quite so much. That one obviously feels more like a football badge. But yeah, there's a bit of a discussion about which one is going to be used.
It's all about marketability nowadays, isn't it? I mean, I think Venezia's changed as well, didn't it? I know, like Aston Villa are in a similar situation where they've gone from the shield with the rampant lion. They're going back to the crest. They're going back to a shield. But then
it's a Chelsea badge now.
Apparently so, even though Villa were around much long before they were. But we'll bypass that. But again, even in the marketing materials, they're still using both badges. So it's really confusing. Like the fans wanted the circular crest back. The club still have that kind of that shield crest as well. But that's maybe a full episode in itself. Badge redesigning and branding, because as we all know, football shirts have now become popular culture rather than just pieces of kit that a footballer wears as part of their quote unquote uniform, I suppose, really. So Si, I will come to you, because I didn't actually say hello properly. I didn't really get to see how you were. So we'll come back to Mad's fantastic Palermo kit in a second. But Si, how are you?
I'm good. I just got one question though. I do actually. I've just realised I've left the heater on behind me. You can't hear it, can you? This is okay. Good, right? I wanted to make sure, because it's blowing air this way, which could be blowing it into the mic. Fortunately, okay, that's good. That's good news, because that would ruin the whole recording, and we'll have to do the whole thing again. And
plenty of hot air on this episode without that. So,
yeah, I'm very good. I'm very good. We should also talk very briefly about Mad's hat as well. I know it's not football, but there's a nice logo on there. I've got Mexican this week. I love a Mexican shirt, but this isn't a Charlie one. This is a Nike one. So Club America, and I've got a few of them. Now, obviously, Mexican shirts are absolutely covered in sponsors. They got the American B&Q. I think it's the same company. How do you say this company?
Huawei.
Everyone says it.
Huawei.
Yeah, whichever one.
It's a northeastern company. Isn't it? Huawei.
Yeah. And I think there's Corona on the back. Of course, there is. Total, because everyone's got to have a naughty energy company on there, and one on this sleeve. So there's loads of sponsors, and they're all different, right? So some of them are like the patches. Some of them are like in the shirt. So that one's in the shirt. That one's a patch. It's all very confusing. But I love the design on there's a couple of really nice Club America ones. This one's one of the I want to say simpler ones, other than the sleeves. It's just a white one with those sleeves. The collar isn't that white bit isn't there in the collar. That's just a t-shirt to keep me warm. But yeah, and I love the badge
T-shirt
called
underneath
America as
and
well.
the heater
I
on.
know,
Come on,
yeah.
Si.
It's winter now. Next week, Tony, we're doing an episode on football jumpers rather than football shirts because
Hang on. Right, I'm just to interrupt you here, Si. You're talking about it being cold. Mad. How much snows in your house at the minute?
Like 30
in his
centimeters
house.
or something, half a meter snow just outside the door. It is freezing in Denmark, minus 7 degrees or something.
Minus
Have you got a
7. To be
T-shirt
fair, it's
underneath?
close
Nope.
here.
No, of course you haven't. Of
Hiking,
course
you
you
know?
haven't. Exactly.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's wearing a 2008 shirt, and those are thick. I've got one of those
Oh.
Palermo tops. I've got a Palermo one. Is it not thick? Is it quite thick? I've got
yeah,
a really
yeah.
thick one.
Okay, well we've got half a centimetre outside of our house, and I've not got a T-shirt on either. So again, Viking, right? So
I'm just a southerner. That's the problem. You see, I spent too much time around the Mediterranean as well. So you know,
I like
uh,
the fact that you've got a Nike shirt, but it's very much an Adidas style.
Oh yeah, sort of.
On the sleeves, isn't it? Because of course that's very famously the Germany
Yeah.
style of the red, black, and yellow, and it's a really interesting crossover. That, to be honest, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like a Mexican design style. Like it's based on like some traditional Mexican wear. Probably, I don't know, Aztec, I would guess, right? If I'm getting my Mexican history right. So yeah, it's like I think it's based on that with the colors and the shapes. But I don't know. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. The idea that the you can imagine is it Jurgen Klinsmann? No, Rudi Voller, I'd guess, right? In that sort of or Klinsmann or someone, like there were a few kits like that. Actually, that German template, I didn't know, but there were 3 or 4 teams who had that kit. You always see the German kit, but I think.
Now, hang on, are we talking about? And I'm going to say this is obviously your realm in it to get onto the internet and start googling, right? Are we talking about the German? So we're talking about the German template that's like that. So that diamond's going across the front and then across into your sleeves, rather than the German template, which was the 3 stripes that went across,
2, isn't there? Yeah.
The archetypal 3 stripes, which I know a few of the nations did have, and a few clubs actually. There's a couple of, I think there's an Irish club had it. Glentoran possibly had that 3 stripes going across it with green, red, and black. I think it was on a white shirt. Looks cool as, by the way. If you find one of them and you can get a hold of it to buy, like snap it up because they are worth an absolute fortune. And I want to say it's got Guinness as the sponsor. I want to say it's like so obvious. It's like green Guinness logo. Like it's just, it's stunning. But we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the one that's kind of like a, it's the colours that sort of come round the front like this, and it sort of comes to the breastbone. So just while Si's googling that,
World Cup 94 or Euros 96, I would guess.
Maybe. I think you probably Euro 96 was white with black trim on the sleeves.
More simple, okay.
Maybe it was here we go. We can pull it up on the screen now.
So
yeah, not that template.
Not that one. But that does have
90.
little diamonds in it though, right? So you can see like the sort of angular element to it. And a few teams had that one. Is it not this one though?
No. So it's not the Italian 90 shirt, which is the black, white, and red, black, white, and yellow going across the there. The diamonds is obviously we all know is Holland, Germany way, and Russia. I want to say it might even be, and it's not that because again that's just an absolute belter as well. We'll go through slowly by picking year after year.
There we go.
I
tell you what,
it is USA 94.
It?
It's on the money, isn't it, for what you've got down the sleeves of your shirt?
That's actually really close. Even the colours aren't far off. I mean, obviously this is a blue rather than a, but it's yellow, red. Yeah, actually, I'll tell you what, it is close, isn't it? And that is an Adidas shirt with a white. Yeah, it has the same vibes.
Yeah, but what a shirt as well. That's an angry shirt, isn't it, Matt?
How did they do? Did they win? 94.
Nope.
USA 94? No.
Italy.
Brazil did.
Brazil. Okay.
Brazil, yeah. Baggio missed the penalty, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah.
In that one. Speaking of USA, though, Si, I'm getting good at these links, aren't I? I am wearing an American soccer shirt.
I mean, we were talking about simplicity in logos. They have gone for simplicity in a badge there.
Yeah.
In your shirt.
This is Providence, as noted by the P on their badge. Just wear that one out. We spoke previously. In fact, Si had Ford Madison shirt on. I bought him a San Diego Loyal shirt as part of our sort of like little challenge we do. I got an Indy 11 shirt from Si.
This
I
one.
mentioned. Oh, look at that as well.
It's another. I bring it up because it's another Icarus one. You see,
Icarus.
So
Yes.
this is Metro Louisville, which is like I got this in from Surprise Shirts. Thank you very much, Surprise. I think it was my first one I got from him, and I've seen the home shirt, which is this is the home shirt. I've seen the away shirt, which is actually like a Mexican skull, and I've got quite a few Mexican skull shirts, so I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get that one. But yeah, that's the Metro Louisville one. It's like I don't know. What division are Providence in?
Oh, I think they're in the same like Sunday League or something.
Yeah, it's hard with America.
Like,
what's going on here?
North American Conference Division 3 or something like that. Like, but what's interesting, if you could just, so this is incredibly plain, Si. If you can just pull up the Providence Hammerhead Shark, Hammerhead shirt. Sorry. So this is, of course, it's like, look at that. Yeah, see, nice and.
Like a chessboard.
Oh, did we discuss this one last week?
Just lovely checkerboard, really simple, little trim on the sleeves, really classy. Nice fit as well, by the way, for an Icarus shirt. I've never actually owned one of these before. Everything's subliminated, all nice, very, very classy. Very classy. Okay. This is one of the shirts that they used to have. Bang! Look at that!
Wow,
it's a Hummel. Danish manufacturers.
It's even a Hummel shirt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hummel smash them out. I think Hummel are one of the best designers around right now for shirt designs. They're up there.
Oh, 100%. We're talking to Mad. Mad's from the land of Hummel.
Land of Hummel, yeah, absolutely. It's like Jaws, the lower part of the shirt. It reminds me of the movie Jaws.
I think it's intentional.
Yeah.
Is Jaws set in Providence, Rhode Island? I think it's Rhode Island, right?
Oh,
I think it is.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it is indeed, isn't it? It's obviously Revival Brewing is the company, but look at how the badge has changed as well. See, so it used to be a skull and crossbones with Providence City. Now, I mean, this is like just a very plain.
Are you sure it's the same
I'm not
team?
Entirely sure, actually. I'm about to double check. Actually, see,
you're not like you're saying the right. Oh, it's a Manchester shirt. Do you not know which Manchester? Manchester, which Manchester? Who? Just Manchester.
Yeah, I think we are possibly. I'm going to find out if there is a different side. Maybe there is. You two fill amongst yourselves for a second while I do some Googling here, because
this is Providence City FC.
That's Providence City FC, yeah.
So the interesting thing with the Icarus shirts is I think they do a number of shirts for I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab up their website because they have some really cool designs, but I think also they do, is this them? Yeah. No, it's not. It's the other one, this one. So they have like, I mean, look at that for a football shirt. Is that a football shirt?
Oh,
but I think they do like a number of fake ones as well, which is really weird. I was like trying to work out which ones were real, which ones were fake. Like this one, Helios Rhodes. Is this a real team? Oh, it is actually.
I'm not sure.
I mean, that's a bold shirt, isn't it? Like,
there's actually while I'm busy googling it here, there's actually an article on The Athletic about Icarus and the American sides that have just gone a little bit wild with designs just to get something a little bit different. So we'll pop the link for that in the description, actually, because it's quite an interesting little read.
There we go. Look, they've got one with like the diamonds, the Lagash Vultures. Third shirt for the club's 750th season, so that's not a real team. So that's what I mean. Like, I go on their website, I'm like, are these real or not? Like, Machu Picchu FC doesn't exist, for example. I'm about 99% sure there's no Machu Picchu FC. So I think they just make like these stylish shirts, but they do also have some that real teams use. So the one I have is a real team, for example. Like you get them quite a lot in the mystery shirt boxes. I'm trying to think which other ones. Like Cape Coast Mysterious Dwarfs. Like there's definitely some odd teams.
This apparently is FC Providence, but does also fall under the Providence City banner. So I'm confused now. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
if there's something that YouTube's perfect for, it's for someone to correct us in the comments. So there we go. There's a challenge to an angry commenter. Correct us.
Soccer with Brian, I'm looking at you. You'll know the answer here on this one. So yes, do have a little look, because there's some absolutely wild kits in North America which are are lots of fun. I mean, look at that. Look at that.
This is another.
You've got
What
the
is the
screen there now.
Hellenic
It's
League?
like,
I mean, I think you've gone to the wrong part of Greece, Tony, with your Football Manager save.
yeah,
I think you need to
I
be in
am.
the
I need
Hellenic
to be
League,
getting.
wherever that is.
I mean, that is.
It looks like a
that is
sweater, that one.
It does, doesn't it?
Looks like it does look like a sweater.
think it is a-
Yeah. You could wear that for Christmas dinner, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, I think what they've done is they've done a load of shirts based on old
Greek mythology.
Yeah, but not just Greek mythology, as if like
Sparta.
the Greek Empire still exists. That's no 750 years
That's
isn't
what-
long enough ago. But yeah, I think it's based on like there's a Sparta shirt, there's a Corinth, not Corinthians, but Corinth shirt. Yeah, they've done a load of Knossos. It's like the maze, the labyrinth. So yeah, interesting. It's an interesting shirt company. Obviously, go like bordering that fashion football shirt divide. Like, does it matter if the shirt exists or not? I guess that's something we can discuss for a future episode, Tony. Does it matter if it's a real football team or if it's a fake one? Because Christina watches, my partner Christina, she was watching YouTube the other day. One of her favorite YouTubers was wearing a football shirt, and she was like, "Oh, I like that football shirt. Maybe I'll get it. What team is it?" And I was like, "I don't know. I've never seen it before." She's like, "I'm going to try and see if I can find out." And she's like Googling away, like just using the image search or whatever, to try and find it. And it was like on ASOS or some website. It's just like some fake team that they'd made up and put out a shirt in the style of a football shirt as fashion. So like it was fashion, like it was a football shirt, but not a real team that never existed. So maybe that's something we come back to.
Well, I mean, Mad, you did a database in FM that was completely made up with teams and countries that didn't exist. I mean, does this sound like something that you've done actually, and we've all just been bought into mad scientist crazy world?
Absolutely, yes. I created a brand new nation, and for that database, I worked together with FM Custom Kits, who made three different kits for every single team, and we created like 64 teams in 3 divisions. So yeah, we had to just play around with our imagination for all those shirts. So it reminds of that, absolutely.
It does create some good kits, FM Custom Kits. You could actually order them as well, we found out. We actually found that at the show this year when JM showed up in his kit. We were like, well, hang on, where did you get a shirt with your name on it and your team? Oh, FM Custom Kits.
Yeah, shout out to Lorenzo for that, because he's a top man and someone we're hoping to try and get on the show as well. Actually, so we'll keep your eyes out for that. I should say as well, before we get into the nitty gritty with the mad scientist, Si, last week's episode with Jack Kenmare, which was a fantastic episode from the guy from Sport Bible, lead journalist there. If you've not watched it, pause this one, go back, watch it, come back, finish this episode. We had a cracking comment on YouTube from that. Do you want?
Yeah, let me see if I can grab the comment.
Yeah. So basically, Mad, what it was Jack was talking about, with this, what's going to lead into what we're going to talk to you about is what got him into football shirts. Like, what was the thing, and where is his collection? And of course, he grew up in Carlisle and Cumbria. He now lives in Manchester. So he's like, I haven't got most of my kits anymore. Like, they're either in the loft or like parents have given them away or whatever. And we've had a comment on YouTube, which we weren't really expecting to get, but my word, like absolute bravos. I'm raising my glass to this, by the way. So, Si, do you want to take it away?
This is Andrew Kenmare. So if the name hasn't ticked you off, we are the ones to blame for this lifelong obsession, Papa and Mama Kenmare. So his mum and dad has come and watched the episode and let us know that they're to. I mean, I said he has made a career out of it. He has made a career out of football. So like an obsession. I think they set him up for life. Who would have thought buying him a football shirt would kickstart his lifelong passion for working at Sport Bible?
Absolutely. So then, Mad, same question to yourself. What was the moment when you looked at football shirts and went, that's not just a uniform, is it? That's a piece of art walking around there. What was it? What was the first shirt that got you thinking like that? Yeah,
and first of all, to comment on Jack in the last episode, I can completely relate. If just I had all those kits from back in the day, all those shirts, I've lost them all. I don't know how. I think many of my ex-girlfriends still have some of my favorite shirts, and there's especially one, but maybe we'll come back to that one later. But my very first shirt ever was a shirt and shorts and socks. It was a complete kit. And back when I was a kid, my dad, he traveled around the entire world, and he always brought me back a shirt from another country. But the very first one, I think I was 6 years old maybe, and I got that complete kit. It was the Liverpool with candy on over the chest, on the chest. And that was mainly because in the 80s, Jan Mølby played for Liverpool in England, and a lot of Danes were fans of Liverpool, supporters of Liverpool, of that exact reason, like with Man United in the 90s of Peter Schmeichel. But my dad was a Liverpool supporter back then, so that was the very first kit I got. And yeah, it all started from there.
Because I mean, that's to be fair, as someone who's not a Liverpool fan, that's still a banger kit to get for your first one. I must admit, like, you've done well there to get that one, and you are obviously while Si's busy Google it there. Here we go, got it up on the screen here. Because if we're talking Jan Molby era, yeah. So I was trying to work out, is it this one here with the sort of the Adidas Originals logo as the leaf,
Nope.
or are we talking the three stripes down the side?
Three stripes down over the
one?
shoulders.
Oh, over the
shoulders. Oh,
not the up in the top side.
top
What's up
side.
in the top?
Ah, this one.
Yeah, that
Here we
one.
go,
Yeah,
this
so
one.
Yeah, I
They've
can
never
just see
done
John
that
Barnes
since.
in that shirt as well.
Yeah, John Barnes and Steve Harkness. That's what I
Yes.
can see there. That's a hell of a kit, Si, isn't it, for your first
Yeah,
one?
Adidas have never gone back to that big three stripe over the shoulder thing, which is kind of interesting. They always now have obviously the three stripes. That any Adidas shirt, I think. Is there any Adidas shirts now that don't have the three stripes, like that go from the collar down to the sleeve? I think they all do it, right? I mean, it is on the other candy one there.
I imagine so, yeah.
But that one they went for. I've lost where it was now. Well, that's the away version in green. But yeah, it's like it's a crazy shirt. Like it's so simple. It's not crazy in terms of out there in design, but it's just like what a weird thing to do. And it like I'm surprised they've never gone back to something since. I mean, that is a thing that clubs are starting to do. You know, if anyone who's seen some of the international shirts that got leaked this week, and some of them are like, oh, we're going to bring back the 80s shirts, and we'll talk some of the Hummel shirts later on. But Liverpool have never really done it. They've never really gone back to this or this. They go back to very much the standard, you know, the template. They've never even done this one where the big three stripes were along the side, right?
Yeah,
you know, they very much go back to the simpler ones.
The new Liverpool kit has apparently leaked as well this week as well, so we can talk about that possibly later on. But yeah, you've got. Yeah, that's just, it's a stunning template. Now, the thing as well is there's two interesting versions of this template. Is see where they've got the sort of the mountain range Adidas logo just on that second stripe there. There's a variation where it's there. There's also a variation where it's in the collar on the bottom part of that V-neck collar, because that's a two-piece collar made of two pieces of material, and it's in the middle. Now, some shirts, and I can't remember off the top of my head just exactly which teams had it where, but there was a few that actually had it in that position there. And then, of course, when they started to move the templates around, it just sat better there. So the next set of kits, when they start to get the stripes coming down with both sides of the sleeves, you'll notice it sits there. You'll notice it sits in that piece there as well. So I think it's underneath as well. You've got a one just below you there, Si, in that little sort of right quadrant.
Which one? Oh, I've clicked it now.
It was in that collection.
I've got to find where it was.
There, so,
where did I
there's a Liverpool 92 home shirt. It was literally just above you there.
Oh, of 92 home shirt.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. There we go.
This one.
There we go. Click on that bit there. See how it then sits in the collar here. Yeah. That's how some teams did it. That's not necessarily that's exactly.
Is that a different year? That one's 1992.
It is, yeah. But I see what I mean. So they moved it from there to put it back.
So they had this,
and went from Candy to Carlsberg as well, right?
So they had this.
Yes.
So it's become even more Danish. So they've moved. They've moved. They've kept the three stripes for a year. Did they? Is it the 1991 one? This is the first Premier League year as well, right? So that's the first. That must be. That's 91, 92. So that other one must be 92, 93, and they must have had it for 2 years.
God, do you remember that? Do you remember that when teams had kits for 2 seasons? God, seems like a lifetime ago.
Well, they haven't though. They changed it ever so slightly, didn't they? They changed it just enough to rinse everyone out of their things. The interesting thing is, I used to think that was a thing that teams had kits for 2 years. But looking back now, actually, it wasn't that common. So I've been looking a little bit at the Premier League football kit history. And you'll be surprised. I think there were only 2 teams in the inaugural season that had Adidas, and 0 that had Nike, which I found really interesting.
Yeah, Umbro. There was quite a few Umbro sides.
It was
in there.
Umbro. Yeah.
We'll have to do the. We'll have to do. I think Mad will need to get you in for this one as well. The inaugural Premier League season, the 93-94 season, and go through the kits because there's some absolute worldies in there. So Liverpool's your first sort of like nod to football kits.
Yeah, and I didn't even become a Liverpool supporter. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. I was about to say it's really interesting that because I guess. And if I say it from like a British perspective, I don't know if it's the same in Denmark and other parts of the world, but your formative years tend to be made up with, you're given a football team by family members essentially and say, this is who we support, therefore you should follow the same thing, and you get bought a kit that's the same team as them. Like, I got Sunderland kits from like 1985, 1986. Like the very first Nike kits were actually worn in England were from Sunderland. Like no one else had them. So for you to get not a Danish side, like an English team, like that's really interesting, because for us that would be the equivalent of going, here's a Copenhagen kit or something. Like I know it doesn't quite, it's not the same because obviously Liverpool would have been massive at the time, but it is really interesting that your first experience was not of a Danish side.
I actually think in the mid 80s, late 80s, I don't think you could buy a Danish football club shirt. You had to play for the club. I don't think you could go to a shop and buy the shirts back then. I don't think you could.
Okay, so what's you say there about ones that have got away? What shirts have you had that you now no longer have that you miss dearly?
Yeah, and that's maybe also the reason why I didn't become a Liverpool supporter, because a month later my dad returned with a new shirt, so I had a bunch of different shirts. One of my absolute favorites was the Sao Paulo Brazilian shirt. Must have been 95, 96, white, with the red and black cross over the shirt. And I actually also got a complete training suit, Sao Paulo. So that was one of my absolute favorites. And as I said, I don't remember how I lost all these shirts. I only remember, there it is. Yeah, that's a banger, isn't it?
Si, this is a football education and a half. Isn't it?
We were talking about horizontal ones the other day, weren't we? We were trying to work out if there was a team than Sampdoria who do it. And there we go. Sao Paulo had one. I don't think they do now, right? I think they have.
I think they do, actually. I think it must be their thing. When you see it, you're like, of course, Sao Paulo, yeah. But yeah, again, just like classic, isn't it? Great color scheme, really minimalist, but just a nice looking shirt. That
was it. Adidas or was it? See, it's got 2 manufacturers here: Penalty or Adidas. One might be a dodgy one. Parola. No, it looks like it must have been. That one says it Penalty as well. It must have been Adidas, surely.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Unless maybe what they did. And this wouldn't surprise me for the time, is they had a domestic and an international manufacturer. I mean, there's a chance that Penalty were owned by. I think Penalty is actually a proper manufacturer, because I'm pretty sure one of the Premier League teams did have it for a season. That's one for a comment section sleuth to solve for us.
I think that's a comment section special, absolutely, isn't it? Okay, so England covered with Liverpool, Brazil covered with Sao Paulo. I'm going to go straight into it. Italy. Let's talk Italy.
Yeah, let's please do so. Because the shirt I mentioned earlier that's most fondly fond to my heart that I don't owe anymore is from 1995. When I went to a summer camp, a football summer camp in Italy, in Parma. And I have been watching, we could watch English and Italian football in Danish television back then. And I just fell in love with Italian football. And I have been watching Parma from a couple of seasons coming up to that 95 season. But then I went to a training camp down there, and obviously I bought the shirt from that season, and I got a training Parma shirt, which was signed by our guest coach for that day or so, or what it was, and that was Faustino Asprilla, who's my favorite player of all time, and he signed that shirt, and I have lost that shirt. I don't have that shirt anymore. I could almost cry when I think about it.
That's
but I still got.
Yeah. If you got which ones is this the? Which season is that? That's a different season, or is that the training one?
Yeah, No, this is the 94-95 season. I think,
94.
yeah.
I was going to say, because the
Yeah, I think it's the
1995
season
one,
before, yeah.
our very first episode, if anyone's not listened to it, actually, we covered the Serie A shirts from that season, or maybe it was the second episode. It was the second episode, and that Serie A 1990, that Parma 95 shirt was my suggestion. I think it's this one, isn't it? The 94 one, the white here. Yeah, that's it, right?
That's the one. But look, I mean, to have a signed Faustino Aspria shirt from that season, and then for it to not be in your possession anymore, I mean, that's just...
It's heartbreaking, right?
There's hearts crushing listening to this,
and I
now.
literally don't know where it is. I don't know what's happened. Probably moved house, and I don't know what happened.
I got to look at this picture.
There's
Hang
one.
on. Give me a second. There he is. Look in the shirt. I mean, that's a cool. Little stick. Is that a Panini? It's not a Panini sticker book, is it? It must be, right?
I don't think it's Panini.
Yeah, it's
Panini.
It's Panini. It's Panini. Yeah,
is
it's
it?
Panini. So yeah, there he is. Aspria in that shirt.
But look at these players, though, man. Thomas Brolin, of course.
Look next to Aspria.
Gianfranco
Zola, yeah.
He was reasonable when he was quite decent, I suppose. Marco Branca, Fernando Corto.
Is Thomas Brolin Danish?
Swedish. Oh, hang on. Have you got the same thing? Matt's got
he
the same thing.
No, he has the genuine one. He has the actual sticker book.
Yeah, it's the genuine sticker album.
I think he's got a different season there, but it looks pretty close.
Yeah. But yeah, there's one shirt I remember, which I have a little story for, that I lost. I do remember how I lost that shirt. It was a summertime where I participated in an ATV race, those four-wheelers ATVs. Mm-hmm. Of course, I had a helmet on, but I had my Newcastle 96-97 shirt with Faustino Aspria on the back, of course. Mm-hmm. And what happened was that after I turned through a curve on the track, I hit something and I flew off the ATV, straight off it, and the ATV continued. So I literally drove over myself with the ATV. It ran over my back, and it completely destroyed the Newcastle shirt, which I'm sure you are happy to hear about, Tony.
Yeah, well, not necessarily the fact that you nearly died, but I mean the shirt itself's actually a nice one. So I don't really understand. I'm not sat there going, get rid of that. In fact, if anything, I have said openly that Newcastle shirt, even as a Sunderland fan, I think that is an absolute.
Is it this
banger?
One? Is it? So this one I owned. We spoke about this episode one. This was my very first football shirt. This one.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's got to be. But I think it was I had the center aligned one. This would be the one you had, I guess.
That's the so that one with the the 97 shirt is this one here with the sort of when Newcastle were in the Champions League and Aspria got the hat trick against Barcelona that night. So there's a photograph of that shirt. So that night, Newcastle are at home against Barcelona in the Champions League. Oasis were playing the Newcastle Arena on the same night. Like, talk about booking. It's like ridiculous. Newcastle City Centre could not move. Like, the stadium was not far from the arena. And Liam actually came out on stage wearing a long sleeve version of that shirt. So, and it's like a really, I think you can even find that that picture online as well. It just looks really cool. If you've got that side, if you can see it.
If I can find Liam Gallagher. But, well, before I do, I forgot about the back of the shirt. I forgot it had this on it, this shield, and like even if you didn't get the name and number, you got the shield and the Newcastle United on the back, which was very interesting. So you want to find Liam or no? Which one?
It's Liam, yeah, Liam Gallagher. So he comes out on the same. It's the same night as the Barcelona game. There it is. That's it.
Wow. Oh, I've seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah. What a way to put yourself over.
Yeah. That's interesting because he's quite a vocal. Is it? No, he's a vocal Man City fan.
City, yeah, they're both Man City.
He's a very vocal Man City fan. So it surprises me that he would show up in a Newcastle shirt.
Absolutely, especially as well because they've historically been bottled off in Newcastle before. So,
or maybe that was the way to get around getting bottled off.
Yeah, maybe, but that's a stunning time for football. I think, and a lot of things, as we've said before, like it's nostalgia inducing, isn't it? And that's what gets you into these shirts and going back and going like, oh, I remember that shirt, and I remember a time like this, and we're talking about snow. That the video of Aspria turning up at Newcastle in snow with this whole look of what the fuck is this? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, so you lost the Parma one and the Newcastle one.
Actually, there's a
And
point.
the Sao Paulo one.
You only said you got ran over wearing a Newcastle shirt. How did the Parma shirt get lost in that mission as well?
I have no idea where it gone.
It's just
The Parma shirt with the Asprilla signature on it. No, I have no idea where it's gone.
it will show up in your
I can't,
attic somewhere in 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
What size was it? Is it a wearable size or is it a kid's size?
Maybe not. It's difficult for me to get into that old one,
okay.
I must admit. Same with this one. It's a slim fit, this one. So please don't ask me to stand
those
up.
Palermo ones. So I'm regularly a medium. I can get a medium or small or a large normally a medium, but those Palermo ones, I've got some of the smalls. I cannot get into some of them. Like they are so tight. Those Lotto ones. Lotto just make them super small. I'm going to have to get rid of some of them, I think, because I just can't wear them. They're impossible to get into.
Yeah. I mean, we've already said I've got one shirt I can't even get off my head, so it's like,
and it's an XL,
and it's a big shirt. It's an XL. I can't get my head through it, so got no idea what's going to go on there.
I struggled to get into this one. I can tell you.
Yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it? It's not fair. So we mentioned Denmark and we mentioned Hummel, and I guess it would be almost criminal not to really talk about one of the greatest templates of all time. If we just put it on screen and we just take just a moment to pay homage to the 1986 Denmark Hummel shirt, which for me, we've spoke about a Mount Rushmore of football kits, right? And everyone goes straight for the Adidas Dutch template. I am nominating this right here for my Mount Rushmore.
I think you've nominated it twice. I think you nominated it in episode 1 and I rubbished it because it's the Southampton shirt for this year in the remakes.
I'm nominating it again. It's going in. I think I brought back up this time.
I mean, I don't mind it as a Denmark shirt. It's just the fact that it's the Southampton shirt and it's pretty close. And I feel like it just looks like clown's pajamas on Southampton. The Southampton one's not quite the same, even though it's the same color scheme. It's not quite the same. I think the white and the red's reversed, so it looks more like the pattern changes on it slightly, like the way it visually looks. And my other problem with it is Hummel have been smashing out the shirts. I've got some great Hummel shirts from the last few years, and then this year all of their shirts are this, and it's annoyed me because it's a nice design, but like they've been so creative the last few years. I've got some great Betis shirts. I've seen some really nice shirts from who else did they do? I think they did
Coventry's
the Coventry ones are good, yeah. And so Coventry, I think Coventry have got away with it this year. I think Coventry, let's have a look. Coventry City shirts. So I'm pretty sure this year Coventry got away with it and didn't get. There is a version, the third kit they get like this green and blue one, but these home ones, and also weirdly this one that Wilson's wearing. So there is. It's just gone to the one with his number on the back. I don't know if you've seen the Hummel one from this year that was the LGBT one. And I think so I will say 100% on board with the idea, like the motive behind it. But I think the shirt doesn't work. It's like it's not that one. Where is it? I'm not going to find it now.
I think it is. It is there, isn't it? The rainbow warm-up shirts.
That's it. Yeah, I just think.
Oh, the Everton one, yeah. The execution's not quite there, is it?
It's too much. It's too much. It's like way too many colors. Obviously, it's nothing to do with the message that it's conveying, which I think is great. It's just the shirt itself is like, oh my God. And I understand it's obviously the rainbow, but it's like, it's just the colors are like all over the place. I don't think it works in that pinstripe in a weird way. But I certainly think where I've lost where I was on the. Is that it? Nope. I'll find it. Normally I have it, so I don't have it. Here we go. Denmark Hummel. But this one is obviously a classic. Do you have a favorite Denmark shirt, Matt?
It's the easy choice. It's this one as well because it's the first World Cup I remember. That is '86. And it's a legendary team in Danish history called Danish Dynamite. So there's just a lot of great stories about that. And I do remember that shirt from the late 80s as well as one of my first shirts also.
I mean, because again, like obviously seeing that as a template worn around the world, like I remember it, as an Aston Villa template. I remember David Platt running around in a claret and blue version of that, which again was sort of one of those things to be going, oh, that's different. That's really interesting. I'm on board with that. And of course, Sunderland were late 80s, early 90s. They had Hummel kits as well. So of course, I was raised in a Hummel world essentially. But for me, it just feels like a really iconic template. I don't think anyone else has attempted anything. I'm going to pick my words very carefully. I don't think anyone else has attempted a template like it. I don't think you can do that anymore now, because it's just that's the template. Like the Adidas 3 stripes going around, like the German template. It becomes its own thing. Like it becomes its own thing. And then for everyone to come back with the template again this year, everyone already knows straight going, oh, it's Hummel. Like you don't even have to see the chevrons down the sleeve to know that's Hummel. And for me, that's like that just is another level straight up.
There was an interesting one in the World Cup last year. So I obviously showed the Nike Total 90 shirts last. You saw the Brazil one. And most of you probably remember the Dutch one. If I remember the kits,
yeah,
it would have been 2004. These ones, right? Like with the numbers. But last year, Puma's efforts were like inspired by these, but they totally missed the mark with them. I don't even remember the Puma ones.
So bad, weren't they? When they had it was like when it had like a shield on the front, wasn't it? It had the nation's name, and they had some awful ones in the league as well, didn't like where they had just Dortmund written across the front of Milan.
Oh, those ones are awful. But so these were like some of the World Cup ones have come on to footy headlines who always have these great football news. But like that, I mean, that's that Switzerland one. It looks like a calendar, like it's like an app on your phone, right?
I tell you what, it looks like. It looks like if you were a Teletubby, that's the shirt you'd have, and you scanned your own stomach, and that would be like maybe they need to have a QR code or something on there. But yeah, just nonsense.
That I think is that Morocco. Morocco. The Morocco one actually works. But some of the other ones I don't think worked quite so well. So yeah, like I don't know if going back to some of these iconic retro designs, I think you've got to do it right. Although that was Puma trying to emulate the Total 90 of Nike, which was interesting.
Yeah, there's one thing that I'm gonna kind of jump forward on this and maybe dial back at the same time, because Mad, we always say that we try to suggest, if we were to give you some money, like a lot of money. Like, what would be the kit that you would go and try and buy? Now, for me, I said before we started, I'm going to write a kit down that I think might be what you go with. Okay, I might be wrong, but my gut reaction has been, for some reason, I think you're going to go for a goalkeeper shirt. Okay, and I think that you would spend a lot of money on the Peter Schmeichel goalkeeper shirt from 1992. For Denmark. And we talk about Hummel revisiting templates. They've done that with, I think it's Bristol City's goalkeeper shirt, because this is like it's one of those like just iconic templates. Look at that right there. That's what we're talking about. You wanted a rainbow? You've got a rainbow right there. One of the greatest goalkeeper kits of all time.
It's amazing. It's kind of insane, that shirt.
Tell you what, that's giving me
that's what I think you'd spend money on. Sorry,
Coventry shirt. We were just mentioning those Coventry shirts. So Coventry City last year. You're gonna have to bear with me for 2 seconds while I try and Google it and don't write Coventry City a shitty. Right, 2022.
I would like to see Steve Ogrisowicz in that shirt.
Oh, wouldn't we just? Because look, see, there's the shirt.
So that's Coventry's from last year. I think that might be inspired by it. Now, there is something else about this shirt, which is those light that there. I know about this because, for various reasons. So that's actually like the cathedral. When clubs do this, that's actually the lights in the cathedral. If any of you have ever been to Coventry Cathedral, obviously Coventry was bombed in the Second World War. The cathedral was demolished. There are actually now 2 cathedrals, the ruins of the original one and a brand new one that they built in the 40s, 50s, 60s. And it's got these brand new stained glass windows that shine the light into the building. But like they're in a more modern aesthetic than you would normally find in a cathedral. So it's really interesting. And like, this is like the little panels of the light in the cathedral. But I think that is inspired by that now I look at it. I don't know. It's got a
I
little
think it is, and if
similarity,
you
right?
have a look at the Bristol City goalkeeper shirt from last year as well, it's pretty much a dead
Yeah,
ringer.
Bristol City Hummel as well,
I'm sure
or
it's
is it
yeah, they were
Bristol
last year. I'm
City
pretty sure it's Bristol
goalkeeper?
City.
Normally, you don't
Hummel.
see me typing on this, but I missed on
Yeah,
this.
it's fine. Don't worry. I think people are on board with this
When
now,
it
aren't
comes
they?
up with
We're
my
like,
Google
yeah, we
image,
know what's going
when
on
it
now.
comes up with my history, right?
Yeah.
This one you mean? No, is that last year?
No, if you go scroll down, yeah, those. It's obviously not exactly that one, but there was one last season which was very much
Oh, there it
along.
is.
There it
Yeah.
is. There it is.
That
Yeah,
is
goalkeeper
100%
shirt.
it,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I mean that's
That is it. That is it.
that is it, isn't it? But like redesigned for the modern era, essentially. So, so mad question then: how far off the mark was I with that kit? Is that on your radar?
It should be for sure. I was a goalkeeper myself, so Peter
That's
SiMaggio
what I
was
thought.
obviously a great hero to me. And it's close as it is a goalkeeper shirt. I would go for if I had the money to go for whatever I could dream of. But it's not a Danish goalkeeper, no.
Mm.
It's a goalkeeper who also could play as a striker.
Yes,
Jorge
other one.
Campos, please. I know his shirt. He designed his shirts himself, and some of them are bunkers, and it's kind of cliche. But I have always dreamt about
Which one? Which one?
owning one of
Any
these
of them?
shirts.
Take your
Yeah,
pick.
anyone.
Oh,
Take your pick.
oh, hang on.
If we've
That
got
one.
younger viewers,
I've
and
got that one.
listeners-
I was wearing it the other week. Did I wear it on the show? No, I didn't. I wore it. I did put it up on the Twitter.
You wore it to a wedding.
I did wear it to a wedding. I wore it to a family event. That's a re-release that they've done. That one. I don't. But yes, that one you can actually get.
Yeah.
At the minute, there's a range that Adidas do called the Goalkeeper Hero range or something. Or icon range. Oh, it sounds like FIFA terms, doesn't it? The Goalkeeper Icon range. They're really big and really baggy, and I'm probably going to be wearing it over the winter because it's super comfy. And there was a website. I can't remember what it is. I think it's Sports. It's not Sports Direct. Pro Soccer Direct. Yeah, it's Pro Soccer Direct. They've got a couple of them. They got the Germany one, they got the Mexico one, and like on sale quite often. They had them on sale again on Black Friday. Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in these goalkeeper kits, we might do a little bit later on where you can get some Christmas presents and stuff. That one is available.
We need to do a goalkeeper episode. Yeah. We've always said there's some absolutely ridiculous goalkeeper shirts, and for any younger viewers or listeners to this going, what on earth? There's no way that was an actual shirt. That is 100% an actual shirt. That's what he used to wear and he used to design for himself. And this was kind of like, yeah, it'll be fine, because obviously that was the 90s. You could do whatever you wanted.
The one where you see him from the back side, could you click that one? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's so 90s as it gets, right?
It's so baggy as well. Just like the bagginess of it is crazy.
I think what I love the most about these Campos kits is that they're so over the top. Yeah, he wore them with white socks. Just like, I can't think of anything but the socks.
And even his gloves, he's just got white gloves. He's got black gloves in that one. Like, you would have thought the place that, obviously footballers now, he's got black boots as well. Like, footballers now, they're like, I'm going to wear orange boots, or I'm going to wear, he's just gone, nope, black. It's probably a rule. You have to wear black boots. So I'll do whatever I want with the goalkeeper kit then.
Talk about boots, actually, if I may drop a small anecdote. As I said, my dad, he brought back a lot of shirts for me. But in 1994, he brought back Claudio Taffarel's green goalkeeper boots, football boots from Brazil.
Ooh.
And back then, 99% of people who played football played in black football boots. So I stand out with that, with those green ones.
These?
And I'm like,
look at them.
Exactly, green and yellow. And I'm like a size 12 of English boot sizes, and they didn't have that. They had to special produce it for me.
So, do they have smaller feet or something? 12 doesn't seem like a crazy size.
I think it was
12 is massive. I mean, well, again, so I'm an average height man with an average shoe size.
True that.
12 is unnecessary. You don't need shoes that big.
I mean, if you have feet that big, you do. But yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Fair yeah.
That's him wearing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Shame his kit isn't quite
cool.
so exotic. Although actually that one we're getting there, aren't we?
That's
But that one
pretty
just
good.
looks like
Yeah,
it's
yeah. Some of
stitched
those.
together, though, right? Like there's just patches where they've stitched it in.
There's a similar one
Yeah.
which I think is grey from that season as well. That kind of like that weird Umbro template was a bit wild. I think maybe like Ipswich had a grey version. I remember. So yeah, we definitely
there
have
he
to
is
do
in a Parma
a
kit.
goalkeeper episode because, of course, he played for Parma, didn't
There
he?
you go.
Of course, he did.
Oof. I mean, you've got a selection there, Matt. I think, the goalkeeper kits. You know, it's certainly.
I've just sent you one as well, Si, to have a look at. That's on classic football shirts at the minute, and it's I can't justify the price of it, but again, when you look at it, you're like going, "That's a goalkeeper shirt with goalkeeper gloves on the design, just in case you forgot you were a goalkeeper."
Oh yeah,
Clearly.
massive hands. Maybe it's to off-put the opposition. Like, how big are his hands? You can't possibly take a penalty against him. But yeah, that's
like how do you even design that?
That's got a chess feel to it. There's something about that that's got. I don't, and it's not that I didn't even realize about the checks at the bottom, but I think even like the design of the hands feel very playing card / chess.
Yeah, backgammon.
Yeah.
Do you know the game?
It sort of feels like it does feel like one of those old school card games or chess or maybe a card game, maybe like a pack of cards or backgammon or something like that. Certainly also the checks on it. It's got a very. You can imagine getting what's that card manufacturer? I guess it doesn't matter too much, but they always come with a pack of cards, and they always have like designs on the back of this. And you get your kings and your queens in these kind of designs. Have I lost you, Tony?
Completely. I just thought it looked funny because it had
Tony's
gloves
still
on.
playing Snap.
Hypnotizing that shirt. It's completely hypnotizing.
Yeah, look, it's got Mr. Bun the Baker on it. Excellent. Oh, I love that. Right, okay, so we're gonna buy a Jorge Campos shirt, which I think is fair, to be honest. That's it's going to cost you a fair whack to get one of those as well.
I could imagine.
And I think they have again brought out some sort of reissues of those sorts of stuff. If we were to banish something, we want to get rid of something, put it into what we call Room 101, never to be seen again. What would it be? What part of football kit culture or football shirts or design? What would you like to get rid of?
Yeah, I had a look around, and it didn't come down to any specific shirts. It came down to a theme I already touched on, because I love the baggy football shirts from the 90s. So I'm going the opposite direction, of course. Like the shirts that some brands released years ago, which it looked like body paint almost. So tight, you mean? So yeah, that's just not my jam. So if I could ban all tight slim fits,
yeah,
okay,
that would be my call.
I can go with that. Get rid of player fit and just literally have fan fit, which is just massive.
You see, most clubs do both now, right? So it's less of an issue. I feel. I don't know. I'm not convinced by this one because I do have. I think as long as they're clear about which one is which before you buy it. And you know if you're buying a slim fit, player fit issue one. Although my problem is I did buy a compression fit one, and that, oh my god, I can't get into it. So that's like even one below. I don't even know what they use that for. I mean, I thought I'd bought a kid's shirt, and nope, it's a compression fit. It's killing me. It's gonna cut off my blood supply. But yeah, definitely, certainly for the larger gentleman or lady, the some of the skin fit ones might be a bit unflattering. So certainly, I mean, that's why you got to go for those big goalkeeper shirts, haven't you? You can hide a big beer belly in them.
But then that's the thing. See, if everything's going to be like a 90s throwback nowadays, they should make them 90s size as well. Get big baggy sleeves on them, massive shorts. That's what you want. None of this it has to be tight so the players can't grab us. No, make it really big so that it slows you down when you're running down the wing because you're wind resistant. You're actually going to take off.
I would actually say, talking about favorite shirts, the shirt you're wearing, Club America, Si, the 96-97 version, I think the yellow one with the blue, the opposite version. That's a top 3 shirt for me in my universe.
Let me look over to the left here.
Do we own that? Do we own that one?
I'm actually looking at the 95-96, which is
It's somewhere
And it goes,
around those seasons. Yeah.
in fact, Si,
I own a remake of it.
I should have actually sent you this earlier, because we were saying, literally, I'm going to send it to you again. We're saying again this idea that there's a Germany template. I'm literally looking at it right now from Club America, from the season after that Germany template. Again, but that is Adidas, so you can kind of let them away with that one, to be honest.
This one, yeah, I've got a remake of this one somewhere, so I'll have to showing our email. You can email us; it's fine. I'm trying to see if I can actually see where I've got it. So they do redo that design, or they often redo that design. That's like the home kit. I think this is the away colors, so they quite often just keep that sort of design. I can't see it right now, but I have got this, and then there's like also the training kit, which I quite like. It's got quite a cool little sleeve design. But yeah, I don't know where I've put it. It's there somewhere. I've got like that sort of style one somewhere out there. I don't think it's quite like that, but yeah, that's definitely a cool one. The Coca-Cola, like we're saying, iconic Mexican sponsors, Coca-Cola, Corona.
Yeah, some things just look right, don't they?
Yeah.
And
that's the dodgy fake though that you've sent me, Tony. Just for anyone who's curious in the chat and seeing that and going, £27, that's cheap. I can almost guarantee that will be a dodgy fake of eBay. But if you quite like that, it's not a bad price actually.
Yeah, I literally, it's just it came up because I had Club America up on the on my internet browser at the same time. I was like, that's the design. I went straight for the design. That's the design I need to look at. There's a couple of things we wanted to talk about as well before we start looking to wrap up. Now, Si, we've mentioned creating Mount Rushmore of football shirts, but we've also said we want to do a kind of end of season awards or end of year awards, I think, really for football shirts in the year 2023. So obviously we're going to try and bring something to the table. Of course, comment below with any shirts you think are worthy of the title of Shirt of 23. Si, do you want to go first? Or Matt, have you? I'll
give you the rules. It has to be 2023 shirt, so it can't be a 22-23 shirt unless it was released post Christmas. So, for example, Napoli shirts. Although I doubt you're going to nominate that Valentine's Day shirt that Napoli did, but in case you do, any Napoli shirts that they released in 2023 are fine, but their one for last season is not. So it has to be released this year, and that's the only rule. But we do want viewer suggestions, because otherwise me and Tony are going to get loads of suggestions, because we're going to be doing it every week, and we're going to be putting it up on the Twitter and maybe on YouTube as well, for you guys to vote on. So you guys can help us decide, and then in the final episode of the year, we're going to narrow it down to the final 4 or so, and we're going to have a quick discussion and work out which one is our favorite of 2023. So each of the guests is also going to chuck one in. So Matt, do you want to go first? What's your pick? What's your suggestion?
Could you please take it first, Si? Then I'll find the picture of the shirt.
Well, so talking of dodgy fakes, I actually own this one in a dodgy fake. My first one for this year. I got a Trek special. If you've not seen the episode with Trek, go check it out. But my one for this year is the. Actually, wait, is this the right one? Now I've just noticed, because it's got
That's last year's.
No, it is this year's, I think. But
is it?
Because it's a fake, they put the sponsor on, and they shouldn't have done. I've only just noticed that. It's only just occurred to me. Wait, let me check though, because the Roma shirt from this season, right? So Roma 2020, they've gone back to that old, and I mentioned earlier, they've gone back to that old badge, Roma 2023 kit. Ooh, if I type in kit as well, and when they had, it is this season's one. I seem to have got it with the wrong sponsor, because it comes, they just deliver it from online. So it is this year's one, but look, that's the kit, and I think that is my suggestion. There's now I'm not always a fan of simplicity in shirts, but the shade of red that is with the yellow. Now there is one problem with it is that it almost looks like a Spain shirt. You could very easily just swap the badge and it becomes a Spain shirt. But other than that, and especially when it's sponsorless, but even once they added the sponsor, which they did add. No, that is that would have been last season's. Now they have got a proper sponsor on there now, but when they had SPQR, that would have been my suggestion, because it's not a real sponsor. Obviously, it's the Roman Senate. We've talked about it before. So that is my nomination, at least for this week, for shirt of the year. I think there's a classicness to it. It's a nice shirt. You know, it's got sort of a traditional Adidas design, but the colors, the simplicity of the badge, I like the whole thing.
Si, I'm in with that one. I must admit, I personally prefer it sponsorless. I do think it looks incredible without that sponsor. Plus, as well, they've also brought, as I'm sure you've all seen online, they've brought out a kind of anniversary sort of like just tracksuit top and hoodie and sweatshirt, and it's just the new collection, and it's just so simple and so classic. It's that color scheme. It's so good. It's so good. It's like if you just type in the tracksuit top, I suppose maybe it'll be
this one
thing, and it's literally brand. They literally tweeted about it the other day, and I was like sitting going, "Oh, this is just incredible." We'll find it as we go through, but for me, I think that's a stunner in it, man. That Roma kit this year.
Absolutely, I like the nostalgia way about it as well. I think immediately think about Rudy Feller with the 92 Barilla, I think.
Yeah, it is based on that.
Sponsorship would look perfect.
It's on the screen as well right now.
Is he there? Is he? I did see a Barilla. Yeah, this.
It's not the original.
There's a fake one there, but with Barilla on it. Oops, I put 1990.
But that's the one I think about immediately.
Yeah, this one, right?
There we go. Yeah. Yes, please. And Young Tati.
Yeah. I'm trying to work out. Has he got a mullet behind there? It looks. I think I'm trying to work. There's a little bit of shadow there, and it's like this is the '90s. There could be a real mullet on the back of that. I don't know if we can see the rest of the team.
Here we go. I'm going to send it to you now.
Yeah.
Direct link for you right there.
So this is the tracksuit. I don't know why it was pulling up that other version. Here we go.
I'm not sure, but look at that.
It's nice, isn't it? It looks comfy too. It looks cozy for the winter. Like, I tell you what, these kind of tracksuit bottoms, I wouldn't wear them out the house, but certainly around the house over Christmas. Yes, I will. I'll chill out.
And it's got the Adidas original logo on as well. So that tracksuit top is a stunner. So that's you've got me there.
Well, go on. What's your suggestion? Unless Mad's ready. Oh, the dog's come in. The dog loves the.
Mad's got the dog on. So while Mad's got the dog on, I'm gonna present to you again simplistic. Initially, on initial viewing, is quite simplistic. And they're known for special shirts at the minute. AIK Stockholm. Last year, they brought out an anniversary shirt, which was navy blue and gold, and it was stunning. And they had the all black kit as well previously, which again was like a sort of special shirt. But yeah, if you get the 2023, there's a white version and a gold version. And
is this it?
Look at this as you scroll down. Yeah,
as
you scroll down,
well.
there's like a. Oh, don't tell me there's a tracksuit jacket as well. I don't need to know
see
that.
If I can find get some images.
Yeah, if you click on any of those pictures, and then there's one, you can see the design in the middle. It's just beautiful.
Nice,
absolutely beautiful. I presume it's Stockholm as the design inside it. But again, really, really nice navy blue and gold trim. Interesting Nike swoosh. And
that is like an old school Nike swoosh.
Yeah.
I've not seen Nike do that with theirs before. Obviously, we see sometimes we see Nike like put themselves out as a different brand, like the PSG have Air Jordan or whatever it is. Are they Air Jordan, right? Yeah. And but rarely do you see them change their own logo.
But yeah, I really like that.
That's a great suggestion. Really like That's a great suggestion. It must be old Stockholm. Absolutely. I think it is because it's the islands there. Yeah, I've been there at Christmas, actually. It's a very nice part of the world. I don't want to oversell it in front of the Danish man, but yeah.
Other parts of Scandinavia are available.
But yeah, that badge is it's like a royal crest. Like, it's really classy.
Yeah, it's not loading up.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I don't know if that's the one.
Even just little details like inside the collar, you can see there's like little messages and stuff as well. It's just... Yeah, they've gone to town on that one. There's no screen printing involved. Everything's clearly going to be stitched on or plastic molds or whatever.
Black, gold, and white. Black, gold, and white. We did say last week, black, gold, and white is a willing formula. And
Classic color
there
scheme,
it is,
isn't it?
black, gold, and white.
Yeah. Okay, so Mad, it's your turn. What have you got for us?
I have DM'd the picture of it to you on the Discord,
You
Tony.
have. Let me quickly send that over to Sai, because this is a good one.
I've not gone for simplicity, I would say. Or maybe.
Of course you haven't. Of course you haven't.
Okay, yeah. So, all right,
Yeah,
I'll be able to
talk us through it, and then we'll pull it up on the
do
screen.
this, I think.
So, first of all, nationality. There. Don't. Just cut straight to the chase. It's clearly La Viola.
See. And it got the nostalgic touch as well. It reminds me like of an early Fiorentina shirt, early 90s, a young Roberto Baggio in those days. It reminds me of one of those. So it obviously got the nostalgia touch when it's me choosing. But I think sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work with all that full print on the shirt. I think this is all right. I like this one.
They're like
I like the fact that the collar's quite different to what we see these days as well. It's wider neck, but then there's kind of like a lower piece on it as well, rather than just a standard V or a round collar. So I quite like that. But Mad, it's Kappa. It's gonna be slim fit, isn't it?
True,
Italian fit.
I didn't think about that. I forgot about that.
I've got it here somewhere. I'm trying to find it now. That's the problem.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, but it's only that and the Roma shirt came together in a Trek special box. he ordered a load of them in, and he's like, I've got a spare Fiorentina and a spare Roma for like 15 quid. You can have them both or something. I was like, okay, sure. I'm not going to say no, am I? But yeah, I think that one's based on, I think, 94 or 97, one of those years. It's a remake of that year, right? Like I think it's supposed to be like flowers, right? It's like a garland as well, if I remember correct. Do you know?
It's done.
I don't know.
No, I don't know, but it's cracking. It's a cracking kit, and again, we say about a sponsor, like when you look at the Roma shirt, when it had the wrong sponsor on it, just looked wrong. We know whenever you think Fiorentina, you immediately think Nintendo. No matter when the shirt is, you always go Nintendo, clearly.
Or 7-Up.
Or 7-Up, yeah. Like, this sponsor is so unassuming as opposed to those other two sponsors, which were very in your face. So I think because of that it is just white text, nothing fancy, it does allow it to be a much more classic shirt than something where you go, oh my God, it's got Walmart written on it or something. Like,
I agree, completely agree.
I actually quite like in Italy. So obviously you saw on the fake Roma one I've got here, the digital bits, which is like obviously an awful sponsor because it's some crypto scam. They they scammed Roma and Inter Milan. Neither of them got paid, which is why it's no longer on the shirts of either of them. And it actually allows. I'll tell you what, the Inter Milan shirt from this year is actually not bad either. If I can find it. Let's see, 23, 24, and they've gone and got Paramount as the sponsor, and it actually looks kind of nice, like on the shirt.
Yeah, pretty cool, doesn't it?
There are some, and that's the. I don't know about the way they wish. I think they changed it initially. They did have that. They because they didn't have a sponsor at the start, and then they added the Paramount. But like, there are some sponsors. I don't know what it is. Like, probably Paramount's not like the most ethically great company, but like, as long as it's not like a betting scam or a crypto scam, generally, like, you know, I'll give it a pass if it's something, you know, especially if it's a logo that's something that's kind of iconic. You know, you see Paramount, you think of some of your favorite movies, and like you get the stars that go around the mountain, and I think like that sort of works on an Inter shirt. I think this shirt. These Paramount ones will be maybe not the Paramount Plus one, but this Paramount one here. I think that'll in a few years people think, oh, I want that back. I mean, it's never going to quite live up to Pirelli, is it? But you know, it's
no,
it's certainly better in terms of the sponsors.
I also collect NBA shirts, and NBA the last 3, 4, 5 years maybe have got some interesting sponsors because in the past it was sponsorless, but these days we have teams with like Disneyland and
Disneyland
PayPal and all kinds of different stuff.
Oh,
so I'm used to.
This might be a suggestion for another week. Now you've reminded me of what Barca have the Spotify sponsor, don't they?
Yes,
And
they did.
every
Yeah, and
week,
then the Rolling
they have,
Stones.
it's
And
different
like,
ones. They have a different. The Rolling Stones one. That one's a popular one to try and buy. I don't know if any of them were ever for sale officially, so they might all be fake. But certainly the Rolling Stones and some other ones. So you get some interesting sponsors on because they're all sponsored by artists, obviously, which is kind of cool.
Okay, that's definitely an episode. Then let's look to sponsorships and whether they look right, wrong, or whether they're just limited edition and just cash ins. So that's definitely an episode to look at. Si, in terms of football kit news this week, because we are hurtling towards the end of the show. Quite a lot of leaks.
Oh, there is
this week,
yeah.
really, wasn't there? There's a lot of stuff to potentially talk about. That's really interesting, I think. And do we start? Well, do we start with the big one, which mad? The New England shirt appears to be
trying to get
leaked. That's potentially the home shirt. Shout out to Footy Headlines, who are usually pretty accurate.
That's on Talks.
They
I
have,
should
of
just
course,
go on
been
Footy
known to be
Headlines,
wrong
wouldn't I, rather
in
than
the
going on
past.
one of these third-party sites that are. Here we go. Let's just go on Footy Headlines.
Yeah,
they're pretty. It's a really good website.
That's kind of that looks like a sort of shout back to 80s England, I suppose. But this new, we talk about these templates. These new Nike template collars look bloody awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
England's not the worst. The Brazil one is horrific.
yeah. You showed me the Brazil one, and I don't know. I like it. Made me. I'll see if I can find the Brazil one. Actually, let's see. Will it show up here? Can I get national teams? So Footy Headlines has obviously been leaking. Well, you see Liverpool is already there. I don't know. That's actually retro, isn't it? That's gone back to that. Wait, what is this design in it? That's actually kind of cool.
Apparently, it says "You'll never walk alone." Apparently, in the design. So if you've got it, you
right.
Squint, apparently, it's like why?
It's a magic eye one.
Why NWA? Apparently,
probably got to go down. These are the. If we scroll down, we'll probably get some of the national team ones.
We can have an episode on the new Predators coming out as well. Of course, that's a thing. But
yeah. See. Oh, I did like this one, the Bayern one that was leaked. It looks like the Eiffel Tower, but it's not. It's the Brandenburg Gate. No, it's not the Brandenburg Gate. It's I don't know how you pronounce it. The Weisse, which is like this statue. That's rumored to be the one. I'm trying to find the national team ones now. They've so many leaked this week that I'm trying to find it. There you go. There's the England one.
Yeah, it's the England away one, which is interesting because again, if you've not seen it, the color scheme is purple. That's it. There, just right
I thought it was blue originally.
This is the one I want to talk about.
It's been recolored. I don't like it. I mean, I like it. I don't like it as an England kit. It feels template to me. It's like, why is that the England kit? England away kit should be. I don't mind a blue or England away kit. I'm not one of those people that says it has to be red. But if it's going to be blue, it has to be the right kind of blue. I've got a couple of blue England kits, and it's purple. It's not blue. This is colorblind me, throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So what? Why are we going for a third color on our away kit? And it this bit on the side, it doesn't make sense. What's England about that? Is it the only thing I could think is if it's naval semaphore or something. Being a historic naval island. Does it say here? Maybe. Nope. Doesn't say anything. So it's just this weird.
No, it just says they've got loads of colors that they haven't used. Mad, your thoughts?
My thought, yeah. It's a little bit strange for an England shirt, even the second or third. I can easily see that. It's a completely new take. I didn't see that coming, that's for sure. But what is more important is that it's either that one or the white one that England is going to wear next year when Denmark beat you at the Euros, right?
Oh yeah, we're in the same group, right? We are in the same group. They did the draw this week.
This is going to be some great games in Euros. Of course, obviously, the Euros have saved the best for first, and Scotland will be beating Germany on the opening match. So we'll do an international football shirt roundup at some point when we have confirmed kits. Obviously, we're only dealing with leaks. That France one.
I'll tell you what, the Portugal one. Look at that. Although that looks the wrong color, but certainly not bad.
Yeah, but look at that France one.
Oh wait, that looks slightly different. I don't know if that's proper, or maybe that's the Portugal. Or are these concepts? These are like accuracy predictions.
I think these.
Okay. If that's the Dutch one,
don't know. But if you have a look at the Brazil, one, if you Google the Brazil shirt,
that Germany. Right.
That will show you that the template seems to exist.
Brazil
And
20
the collar
24 kit.
24 leak, I suppose. Yeah. The collar is weird. It looks like, you know, those jumpers you get in Tesco's. Like,
okay.
That your dad wears. There's a lot to dislike about that shirt all in one thing. Like, I can't.
A cardigan your nan used to knit.
Get away with it.
It reminds me of a cardigan my nan used to knit me, and I'd be like, I'm never wearing this. I'll wear it when my nan comes around, and that's it. Yeah.
Like if someone said, "Oh, can you think of the worst way to do a yellow and green Brazil shirt?" They went, "Yeah, cool. Let's put a foldy over collar on it that's still technically a V-neck. Let's put a weird pattern on. We'll put a bit of green under the arm. How about some blue bits?
I like the pattern and the blue bits.
It's just nonsense.
But the collar is not for me.
Mad, can you defend?
I have a rather crude explanation for it, but I think I'd get cancelled if I said it.
Also, how's my head going to go?
Yeah, same.
Unstitch it. You just got to unstitch it down the middle there. I mean, look, there's even a little bit there where it's actually stitched up. It is very odd. And then they've gone for a center-aligned. Right, I mean, I don't understand when they do this. Center-aligned badge, but just put the manufacturer above it there.
Yeah.
Why is that there?
I mean, to be fair, Si, if that's the bit you're taking offense at on this shirt, you've missed everything else. I mean, that's the fourth thing that's wrong with the shirt.
I bet the back is plain as well. Looking at the sides being plain, I bet the back is plain. Ooh, yeah, I'm not.
It's a horror show. It's an absolute horror show. I'm sorry.
What's the away? I can get behind that away. That's all right.
Again, that looks like a pair. That could literally be like that feels like something you'd see in Matalan as a swimming top.
I like the font.
Like the font's nice and the color scheme's nice, but it's just I don't know. Like after talking with Jack last week about that classic Brazil shirt from the World Cup '94 and then the World Cup '98. Sorry, how have they got to this monstrosity? I don't understand it.
So yeah, well, we'll wait and see what the confirmed ones are like. They're probably pretty close, I'd imagine, but sometimes they're a little bit off. The England one last time was a little bit off. Sometimes the colours change or little bits on the design change, or as you saw with that Roma shirt just there. Well, obviously the sponsors don't change on the international shirts, but yeah, they do adjust over time.
Okay, and then anything else you want to talk about from this?
Yeah,
week,
well,
Si?
it's not from this week, but it was something that we were very quickly going to cover. It is obviously now December. We'll do this very quickly because I haven't got loads. But you might be looking to buy Christmas presents for people. So I'm just going to direct people to where they might find some good Christmas presents. So the first one is if you go down to the description and you don't scan that QR code because you'll use mine or Tony's code down in the description because we will get a little bit of money, but you will also get a little bit of money if you go buy stuff off Whatnot. And I've been going mad on Whatnot. I told you about did I show them? Had they arrived? Did I only mention them?
No, they hadn't arrived. You said you'd won them, but they hadn't. You've texted me the picture of them and they look cool.
These are my 1992 AC Milan. Now, it doesn't actually have an AC Milan badge on them. These are my 1992. I should probably stop the share for a second while I show these off. These are my 1992 AC Milan tracksuit bottoms, which, but they are AC Milan because they have it there in the badge. Wait, where is it there? Right.
It says Opel and Lotto. Yeah. It's clearly AC
Well, it
Milan.
could be Bayern
no one
Munich,
else.
I suppose. But like, it's like one of those like Wizards things. It like keeps going. So these are a large, but and it's not going to come up because we're in vertical format. But they are so long. Like I can't even like.
People's legs were longer in the 90s.
Maybe. And then, I mean, this is stuff I won on Whatnot, right? And not that I won in an auction. I actually won like in a competition. A 2002 Beckham kit. Like, look at that. So get yourself on Whatnot, and you'll get a little bit of credit. And you'll get between 10 and 200. We don't decide how much. I think you have to verify your phone number or something like that. And then you'll get a little button at the top that tells you how much credit you have. And then whatever you get, me and Tony also get. So we'll buy us some shirts that we can show off on the show. We're not sponsored by them or anything. So it's just the case of it's a referral code. No one's obliged to use it. But like 10 quid will get you a shirt on Whatnot.
It's free money, right?
Like I've bought a couple of shirts on Whatnot. We'd recommend the non-league football guys. They're on there. There's a couple other ones. Mystery Jersey King is a good one. Football 101, unique football shirts. There's a couple of them who are pretty good that you can go check out.
If you've got a few quid burning a hole in your pocket, Ellis Platinum.
Oh yeah, Away
Days.
So Ellis does one. Yeah,
shirts.
But Ellis is very popular. He has some nice ones in the collection.
Yeah,
you're
not getting anything cheap in there.
There are some bargains that go in there sometimes, and sometimes you'll get things that you didn't think about. I bought some gloves, and I've been wearing them this weekend, and there were some Napoli gloves, and they went for like £5, and I was like, I need some gloves for the winter. I've got a pair of Napoli gloves now for the winter. So Whatnot is the first place. The second one, every day, classic football shirts are doing advent deals. Now, unfortunately, today is a Manchester City kids kit, and the first day was a Man United kit, and the second day was a football. But so far, there's been nothing for me. But obviously, there's some. Every day there's going to be one. So we're going all the way up until Christmas. With their Advent Day deals, and the ones from the previous days are still there. So they haven't got their weekly deals on at the minute. They do also have sections on their website. So if you're looking for like gifts for someone, they have a clearance section, under 25 quid section. There's some good stuff in there usually. Just sort by that Club Tawana. Oh, it's a women's size. Oh, the Club Leon one. That's a wish list one for me. It looks like an actual newspaper. Forget the Ajax newspaper one. That one actually looks like a newspaper, but it's in the women's sizes. I mean, particularly women's ones. So another website that you'll find some good ones on. M&M Direct. Normally they do a shirt drop. They haven't done one in a while, but there are a few on here. So look, so you see this the Spain one here, 20 quid. Nice with that classic Adidas. That's the 2018 one though. A Germany one for 13 quid. They've got some of the women's ones here. Juventus, like a really nice Olympic Lyon one, which again is a shame it's a women's size. But they seem to have sold out on a few. They got a Bayern one from last year, 25. So M&M Direct have a load. Where else was I going to show you? Oh, one more, which is Cult Kits. Now Cult Kits. There's quite a lot of places to do mystery shirts, and we're going to do an episode on mystery shirts down the line. But I was looking, and I think Cult Kits was the cheapest one I could find, which is theirs comes in at 30. I get a surprise shirts one, and they've been pretty good recently. So, they're really good. We had someone in the Discord join the Discord. Someone in the Discord got one from, I don't know where they got one from.
Mystery shirts,
Mystery shirts, yep.
Mystery shirt.
I've got one from Mystery Shirt King or Mystery Jersey King a few times as well. In fact, I got one this week from Mystery Jersey King that was really nice as well. So there's a few really good companies out there for the mystery shirts. Sometimes you'll get really good shirts. Sometimes you get really obscure shirts. That's the way I would put it. If you're after something specific, do not do this. Otherwise, you can get some really interesting stuff. You got a surprise shirt one over on your other show, didn't you, Tony? What did you get?
I did. I got a. Where is it? I think it's actually. Bear with me 2 seconds. It was. It was this one. It was a Wraith Rovers away kit.
Oh, a nice pink one as well. Yeah.
Look at that. Bright pink. Look at the detail in it as well, actually, if you get right up close.
Oh, yeah. He just about shows up on the camera.
That's a hell of a pack.
Yeah. So,
and there's also I can put a little code in the link as well, in the link description for another podcast that I do. But there is a 10% discount on that from Surprise Shirts. So if you're looking for those sorts of things, then they're options.
One other one I've just remembered that I've used before for the mystery shirts. UK Soccer Shop on the mystery bags. If you're looking for something a little bit cheaper, you don't want to spend 30-40 quid. If you go on UK Soccer Shop and you go to mystery football training shirt adults, it's 14 quid, and normally you can get like 10% off, or £10 off orders in the minute. But sometimes you get 10% off orders. You can go for a jacket or something else instead, or the shorts are also 14 quid. But you can normally get around 10% off this website. So it probably comes even less. And they'll send you a training shirt. And I've got a Real Madrid training shirt, a Juventus training shirt, a Roma training shirt before. Like I've got some really some decent ones in the past. And I'll see if I can find one. This was one of the Real Madrid ones here. Like it's simple, but if you're after getting a present for someone and your budget doesn't quite stretch to full on football kit range, like you want someone to get like for an FM save or something, it's perfect. So UK Soccer Shop's ones, they do training shirts, which comes in a little bit cheaper. The other thing, and maybe we need to talk about this another week, Tony, but classic football shirts, the
Christmas jumpers. I know, I'll be honest, I'm tempted to buy one. I am tempted.
So obviously they're not
but I
officially
know that
licensed, are they? So
shouldn't.
they're all ever so slight, but
No.
they've got around it in a cool way. I feel like they've
Because
changed
there's
them.
Mad's Palmer ones on there. You can find there's a Palmer
There's
one
the
in
Palmer
there.
one on there.
I'm sure
Oh,
there's a
that's
Palmer
better.
that.
I've actually got that bit. Shit.
There must be. Keep scrolling
Where's the
down.
Palmer one? That's
There it is. The yellow and navy.
Oh yeah,
hoops.
there.
It's in there. Yellow and blue hoops.
And it's changed it to a little present, right? And it says Grotto instead of Lotto.
Grotto.
And Buon Natale on the instead of Parmalee.
Yeah.
So it's like adjusted all these. I don't know what's on the back of that one. Sometimes they have the names on the back, right? Let's see if the video guy.
Yeah, they do.
Has he got a back? Crespo. There we
Crespo.
go. Number 9 on Crespo. So yeah, you get some really cool ones. There's a Rude Hullet one there.
That Chelsea one's pretty nice. Yeah.
Man, actually that's kind of cool. Golden Balls. That's kind of a funny one. So like they're just like if you're a fan of a cheesy Christmas jumper, then certainly
that USA 94
one.
Look at that.
That's like the Atletico one. The Atletico one they had last year. Do you reckon they've got the Denmark template? Oh, I don't think they do they?
Oh, I don't think they do actually. No,
they've got a few though.
Sadly, that Red England one's quite smart though, and the Carlsberg Liverpool one, which is sort of the
Christmas
Jon Arna reset Liverpool kit, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's basically one for most clubs here now. They had all last year's ones, and they've added a load for this year's. Like that's that classic Dortmund one that we put in our advent calendar.
That's the one that we posted out on our advent calendar.
I need to do one for tonight for Sunday night. I haven't done one yet. So yeah, there's some really interesting ones there. I reckon those make some fun Christmas presents. Is that an Ajax one? Oh, look at that. So yeah, certainly certainly few options for Christmas presents there. Get those on your wish lists and get them out to your loved ones if you want some football shirt stuff. I've done it this year. I've been like, just get me a mystery football shirt to people. I tried it the last few years. People didn't seem so keen, but now this year they seem a bit more keen. Now they see, my collection and stuff and shared chatting about it with them. And people are starting to realize, oh, it's not just like he just wants a football shirt. Oh, it's actually kind of like, a fun thing.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, do let us know if you use any of those referral links or those codes, because it's always nice to see if we're actually helping you out and you're getting something you actually like off the back of it as well. And you can tell us all about it in the Discord. The link, of course, is in the description below. Si, Mad, I think we've had a right chat tonight. This has been cool. We definitely have to get you back on again, Mad, when your database drops, because we'll talk the season, of course, it's 07-08, isn't it? So we'll talk about all those kits from that season. But where can people find you if they want to, first of all, get the database, if they want to get in touch with you? Where can we get in contact?
Yeah, people can stay updated on the progress of my next database on Twitter. Is it X these days? What do you call it?
It'll always be Twitter. It'll always be Twitter. We're never going to call it anything else.
Yeah. The Mad Scientist FM on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Do I forget anything? I have a website as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, we'll stick it all in the description below as well. So yeah, do go and make sure you follow the Mad Scientist. Si, what about yourself? Where can we find you, or are you going to promote us?
Oh yeah, I wasn't intending to. Oh, there's the advent calendar for yesterday, so we'll do one every day. Mm-hmm. But the footy shirt sock on Twitter and TikTok. We're on TikTok as well because we're cool kids. And we are Football Shirt Social here on YouTube. But I guess you've already found that if you're this far into an episode. So just hit the subscribe button and the like button as well. And comment down below, what your favorite shirt from tonight was. You can find me, SiMaggio, or SiMaggio FM if it's Twitter. And I'm on Threads, and I'm on because Twitter's probably going to die soon. But yeah, we'll find me other places.
They keep saying that, but it keeps hanging on.
Oh well, he said this week that they're going bankrupt, so maybe it'll be dead sooner rather than later.
It's the wrong time for me to pay for verification, isn't it? You can find me over on a platform that may be dying shortly. I'm at Tony Jameson. I'm at Tony Jameson FM on Twitch and YouTube. And as everyone said, I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been a good chat. I've thoroughly enjoyed having the conversation. I'm sure you have as well. As Si says, leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, comment below, get involved in all the social media stuff, and most importantly, take care of yourselves. And we'll see you next week. All the best. Bye now.